really excited about our next guest.
Me too.
Because this is right up Adam and mine's alley. As everybody knows, we're super proud Taylormade ambassadors here on Golf Talk Canada. And Adam and I are also equipment junkies and gurus, right?
Love it.
We like to think we are anyway.
Sometimes.
But we want to hear what the best in the world are working on and how they've tweaked things and what they're into and how equipment's being received and when in the year do they consider changing things. And our next guest, this gentleman in between Adam and I, if you're watching on TSN2, is kind of really in charge of all of that. Out there on the tour as the senior manager of the tour, I believe that is correct. Adrian Rietveld. Out there each week, Adrian, along with Keith.
Yeah.
You guys are out there each week, and you're working with the Rorys of the world. You're working with the Scotty Schefflers, the Colin Morikawas. I love that video early in the year about Morikawa's custom irons that were put together.
Yeah.
I mean, I was eating that stuff all up. First off, thank you so much, because I know you must be busy.
You're welcome, no problem.
Let's talk Rory right out of the gates, because he's a big story this week. He's going for 3 Canadian Opens in a row. Start of the year, it was Stealth 1, Stealth 2. It was like this little dance.
Yeah.
He's landed now on Stealth 2, driving the ball like the god that he is.
Loves it, yeah.
Talk us about this process.
So, yeah, what a question straight out the gate. Obviously, anything Rory does or says or anything is front page news. And if you remember when, going into the end of last year, what a run Rory was on. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy was number 1 in the world. Couldn't put a foot wrong, right? And I think people don't realize that new product doesn't necessarily mean Rory has to put it in play. Obviously, we'd love him to, and we'd like to get there with him. We know that his equipment's going to evolve, and eventually, performance will be the winner at the end of the day. But he was at a point in the beginning of the year where he was happy with where he was at, and that's great. And as we started to get into the testing process, and his swing evolved. I think it was at Riviera. Obviously, he had a good driver there, and these drivers have sell-by dates, and that's I think that's the be-all and end-all of all of this is that Tiger would call them snowflakes. That there's small intricacies, and
right.
to find a real what we would call like a gamer, to then replace that with another gamer. There's never going to be quite.
It's not, just because in a lab it comes out 3% better, doesn't mean that we're going to get the best driver of the golf ball on
Absolutely
the planet to
not.
automatically.
No.
But you can get him.
No. Well, yeah, in time and with trust and the relationship, and I he loves what he has now, and we love watching him hit it. And you go down to last week, and what a golf course! What a you're looking at Memorial where everybody's testing 3-woods and mini drivers because they all the runouts are at that 320, 330 mark, and Rory's
got to hit 3-wood.
Yeah,
but he hit a lot more drivers than and he's a very long and straight driver of the golf ball, and I think it's a weapon in his bag. And I personally I've been fitting and working with Taylormade equipment for the last 10, 15 years. And I'm having a real good time with this driver.
Nice.
A real good time, and I learn as well as I go along, and I'm at a point where I think the spin rates are as consistent as I've ever seen in a product. I feel like the speeds are as high as they can get in terms of conforming. It's just and
the fall offs aren't as big anymore.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So when you talk about one shot versus one shot, that's one thing. But if I talk to you about 100 shots versus 100 shots, you see a significant performance gain, and that's going to be the difference. And I think as long as the players, and this is the PGA Tour, it's the acid test of golf, right? So as long as the players are willing to give you the time and effort to get it right for them, I feel like I've got the tools to do it.
So you mentioned there a little earlier the burner mini driver, and I understand Tommy Fleetwood has been working with that. Walk us through what it's like, A, with that product, and B, working with Tommy.
Interesting one, because it's kind of like I've played a mini driver for the last 4 years. Okay. And I'm a lefty.
Okay.
So it's like
just like him.
You only get like a 11 and a half head, and it's like one chance, work it out. Yeah, and it's been the best club in my bag. But it's we would try and bring this product to tour, and where does it fit, right? You know, it fits. I think it fits in your recreational golfer's bag, because maybe they struggle with the driver. These guys don't struggle with the driver.
Right.
You know, it's out the middle and it's performing. So where does it fit in the bag? And obviously Tommy put it in play at Hilton Head. It's a perfect golf course for it, right? And I'm actually seeing so much good feedback from that product, but not from me, from players telling players. So you know, Adam Scott was number one in driving pretty much last week, and it was just because of that Mini. And you know, he's got. It's funny because we fitted the Mini driver. He plays a driver forward.
Oh.
He plays driver forward and then into his bag. So when he pulls, when he can't hit driver, he's giving up so much between that driver and the forward. You know, you think he
wants to close that gap.
Yeah, Adams. So all of a sudden the golf course is playing him. Right. So he's like, oh, how am I going to play this golf course? And I was like, well, I can make up 20 yards there with a Mini driver, and you know, he had Stevie Williams on the bag, and like Stevie's messaging me. I'm like, well, cool, I've got messages from Stevie Williams, and he's going like, that Wednesday afternoon was, you know, because what is that thing?
Right.
Like, it's called a Mini driver.
What is that thing?
What is that?
It's an oversized 2-wood, sir.
Yeah,
it's an oversized two-wood.
and I think, like, if you look at, and you guys, if you guys will notice this, if you look at the PGA Tour now, the golf courses are so much harder and more demanding than I would even say in the last 3 years, 4 years. You know, you're looking at like 8 under winning Colonial. That's unbelievable.
How did I know?
You know, 7 under, and you almost just have to stay in play and hang around and play these tough golf courses the right way. And all of a sudden, this Mini driver is a tool, right?
Unbelievable.
And that's cool. And you know, everyone, you know, from Phil to Bryson to Adam, Tommy, you know, these guys are all traveling with it.
Yeah,
it's great.
They need it in their bag. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. We're with Adrian Rietveld, who is the senior tour manager from Taylormade Golf. He's out there with the best in the world, tweaking, fitting, trying to solve the puzzles at the top level with the best gear on the planet. I've had the opportunity to spend a little time with Justin Rose this year. Last couple of years, actually. We worked a few Morgan Stanley events that you know.
Yeah.
I know he's not an official member of Team Taylormade anymore, but he told me that he was playing an M1 driver. He told me this at the Players Championship.
Yeah.
I hear there's some rumors of him maybe tinkering with a new Taylormade product.
So it was an M2.
M2.
So I go way back with Justin. He's probably, I would say he's the biggest contributor to my career.
Wow. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
super
to
nice
my
man.
career in you know, in my climb up the rankings, you know, coming from the European Tour all the way to so to amazing with equipment. Just amazing with equipment. Amazing feel. I mean, just superb. And when he's swinging well, you know, you can really hit anything. And then it's about what he feels most comfortable with. So, you know, that M2 driver, I mean, that was from back in his TaylorMade days, you know, and it's
2017.
2017, you know,
think so. Yeah.
Little unicorn, those things. Very good, but yeah, he was. And you look at him at the PGA. I mean, he hardly hit any fairways with what he was using. A computer product, you know, just trying to hit a dispersion, and he was there to win the tournament. I mean,
right.
So you know,
he's won this year. I mean,
amazing. I mean, he's
so good to have him back.
So much golf left in that guy's career, and he, you know, he was. I was fortunate enough for him to give me a little bit of time at Colonial, along with all the other brands, right? And we managed to do some really good work where he ended up putting in the Stealth 2 driver and fairway with 3 and 5 wood. And hit it great around there, and I was just with him now on the range. Actually, now we just kind of, it's amazing. We're working with 200 RPMs of spin on the range there, and he's 3 wood, right?
Wow.
Loves you know, this is a follow-on from kind of him taking stuff into a tournament, and he's like 5 wood's perfect. Driver's just like, you know, really in play and out there, which he loves. And 3 wood, he was like, I'm 8 out of 10, yeah, and we're now working on like 200 RPMs a spin.
That is unbelievable. I can't believe we've run out of time.
Yeah.
We've got to do this again. Can we get you to come back at another time? We'll do a Zoom or a telephone
I'd love
call.
to, yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah,
love
great.
this stuff. We're Taylormade all the way.
Yeah.
and
I've got some good stories for you.
we'd
can't
love to
wait.
hear 'em.
Yeah.
Next time we got to go deeper, multiple segments
Oh,
when
yeah.
you've got time, when you're not being pulled in a million different directions. So maybe we'll do an hour special or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
I'd love
On the tour, we'll call it.
Yeah.
We'll do an
Yeah.
hour together.
Yeah.
Adrian, thanks so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank
Have
you.
a great
Thanks for having
week.
me.
Thanks, Adrian.
Adrian
Appreciate it.
Rietveld,
Thank
Senior
you.
Tour Manager, Taylormade Golf.